All right, what's up, guys? Barzy Vasugian here with you for our halftime live stream, recapping the very not so glorious first half between the Chiefs and the Broncos. Shit, the Chiefs have their backups in there. I mean, what did you expect? I will say I did expect a little more from the offense. Defensively speaking, I can't say I'm entirely surprised. The Chiefs do have a lot of defensive players in there that have hardly played all year long. I mean, you literally have Cam Jones out there. I would love to walk up to 10 Chiefs fans and ask them who number 44 is on the team. Shamari Connor, he's also playing in his first game back from his concussion. And you also have Najee Johnson, who, I mean, listen, Chiefs fans have complained about Najee Johnson all year long, being a number 2 quarterback opposite of McDuffie for the time he was. And then they took him out. They tried Keith Taylor, and then they put in Josh Williams. I mean, they've experimented with a lot of different guys. That's why the recent news about Jalen Watson coming back is more significant, because you do not want to see Najee Johnson versus Cortland Sutton. It's a match made in heaven for the Broncos. That matchup right there will favor Denver any day of the week. And listen, you see it. I'm sure. Well, listen, Denver knew what they were coming into. They knew that a lot of the Chiefs backups would play in this one. And I'm sure from a Denver perspective, they thought that Najee Johnson would be available. Najee Johnson has been having a really bad year, for being completely honest. So what has Bo Nix been doing in this football game? He's been picking on Najee Johnson for almost the entire game. That is what you should do. That's why Bo Nix is of 18 of 19. Sorry. Only incompletion was right before halftime. The last play before the field goal unit came out there. And by the way, he's also the leading rusher for the Broncos, leading rusher for the entire game, by the way. Carson Steele, he has 3 carries for 11 yards. I'm just looking at the Chiefs stat line right now. It is bad. The Chiefs had 2 3 and out, and then they had an 11-play drive. It looked like they had something going. I told you guys before the game and all week long, really, I said my biggest concern with this football game is seeing Kansas City's backup offensive lineman against Denver's defensive front, because Denver leads the NFL in sacks. They have, as a team, as a unit, the best pass rushing unit in the NFL. And you kind of see that right now, especially when you're going up against a bunch of backups. Obviously, when they started the game, you had your 3 all-pro interior offensive linemen in there, Tooney, Humphrey, and Trey Smith. But obviously, they took them out. Humphreys stayed at left tackle. He's kind of had an up-and-down game. Wanya Morris, I mean, is Wanya Morris at the end of the day. Nothing too different from him. But then they put in Kingsley Suamata, left guard. That is a very interesting move. I don't think he's done terrible as a left guard. I don't think he looks great either. But the 2 guys I was really curious to see the most, Hunter Norzad and CJ Hansen, and they have not looked very good in this game. I think part of it is Carson Wentz holding onto the ball longer than he really should. I certainly think that's playing a part in it, but Denver's defensive front, they're just going after Carson Wentz. I hate to say it, but it does kind of remind me of Super Bowl 55, where Patrick Mahomes was running for his life playing behind a JV offensive line. That's what this game looks like. I hate to bring that game back up, but that is exactly what this looks like. Yeah, Raymond says Wentz running for his life. Yeah, that's what happens when you have 22 backups in there playing a game that's irrelevant to them, but obviously has a lot more meaning to Denver. I mean, it's a playoff game for Denver. Could have stayed at the KC runway. Yeah, probably. What a good idea. Yeah, you know what's crazy is the Chiefs were really high on Najee Johnson last year in training camp before his injury. So I was really eager to see what he was going to look like. And my question to the coaching staff is, what was it you saw in him? I mean, I get majority of his activity had been in practices and not games when it came to defensive snaps, but I don't know what the coaching staff saw in him that they really liked him and gave him all this praise. I mean, I think at the end of the day, maybe they feel like they saw enough. Maybe he comes back in the game. I won't dismiss that possibility. I mean, listen, this is not an actual preseason game. You don't have 90 players. You got to switch some guys around. Denver celebrating. That's what I was saying. It looks hilarious. Yeah, I mean, listen. I mean, what are they going to do? Apologize for beating 22 backups? I'm trying to think of. I'm trying to think. Was there ever a time? When was the last time the Chiefs needed to make the playoffs and they were going up against a team that had their backups in there? I can't recall a time when that's happened. Meanwhile, in the Andy Reid era, this is the 5th time Kansas City has rested all their starters. I know Bengals fans don't like the sound of that, and that makes the Chiefs. They're not manly enough. I've already seen that. Boy, the past hour, Bengals Twitter is a shitstorm. That's a lot of fun to watch right now. It really is. The irony in all of that. I mean, that fan base, all the things they've said about Kansas City, and then they need the Chiefs of all teams to win today, and they're getting killed. Oh, the irony behind that. That's a really sad hill to die on, by the way, to assume the Chiefs are scared because they're resting all their starters in an irrelevant game. Yeah. What a sad hill to die on. Just needs to finish the game with no injuries and it's a win. Yeah, that's kind of the way I see it, Chris. I mean, realistically, like if I said I'll give you $100 to any Chiefs fan, you have to tell me, are they going to win or lose this game? You don't have to get the point spread correctly. Just say just say who's going to win the game. You get $100 from me. You pick Denver. Anyone with a brain would pick Denver. Yeah, he's holding on to the ball way too long. I mentioned that before. People think Mahomes holds on to the ball for a long time. Yeah. I mean, listen, I was hoping Wentz would do some things in this game, and yeah, Jim, I don't know if that's playing a factor into it as well. Maybe they pull him out and let Oladokin take over, but I don't know, man. This was kind of his audition for next year because the quarterback free agency class as well as the draft class is not really strong. I mean, a lot of people feel like Sam Darnold is the best quarterback that doesn't have a contract for next year. But the rumor is he's going to return to Minnesota. Minnesota wants him to come back. So this was an opportunity for Wentz to maybe show something. I mean, I get he's playing with 10 other backups on offense, but or at least for a majority of the game, but still, I mean, this is a guy that at one point was considered for league MVP back in I can't remember what year it was. I think 2018 or maybe the year before when Nick Foles took over and led them to a Super Bowl win. Yeah, Gwen, I was mentioning a moment ago that they might go towards that direction right now. Yeah, what else is new? I mean, we've seen that before, unfortunately. And games that have mattered. I mean, listen, you just can't trust Najee Johnson. That's why my hope is Jalen Watson is going to be 100% ready to go for that divisional round game, because if that's the case, I feel really good about Kansas City's defense, especially that number 2 cornerback spot opposite of McDuffie. Wishbucker would have made the field goal. Chiefs. Yeah, I heard Nance mention it had been 61 games since the Chiefs were last shut out in the first half. When was that last game? Because I think that was the AFC Championship game against New England. And the Chiefs got going real fast in the second half of that game. Yeah, see, I'm not either. I mean, I expected a little more offense, but in general, I mean, nothing really surprises me. Practice squad football. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah, I'm seeing a few Chiefs. I can't imagine what Bengals fans. Oh, I mean, you just have to go on Twitter and see it. They are crying. It is a shitstorm of tears on Twitter from that fan base. I think it's hilarious. We got to get Remigio involved. He had a nice play at one point. Yeah, you mentioned that one, Kyle. That's like the only highlight of that first half from Kansas City. That and the graphic of showing the accomplishments Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes have created in Kansas City together. I would, Cole, but I don't see them. See, they're always chirping. They always have something to say. I mean, imagine if you need other teams to lose so you can get in. Are you really a great team? I mean, I know they won 5 in a row, but you rallied too late. shouldn't have committed pass interference, shouldn't have lost those close games, shouldn't have lost to New England of all teams. I mean, the team to beat in the AFC, or at least so they claim, they'll be punching their ticket to Cancun real soon. Hey, Cancun's a great place. I mean, listen, you have 22 starters that are fighting for their. This is a playoff game for Denver. So you have 22 starters for Denver that have to win this game, and then you have 22 backups for Kansas City with nothing to play for. Put 22 starters against 22 backups of any team, you'll see. I mean, you'll see the backups get killed. By the way, the only exception is, remember Todd Haley, his first year with the Chiefs? He put his starter back when they had 4 preseason games. Those starters were still playing in the fourth quarter of that game, and they were just getting destroyed by Green Bay's backups, like their 3rd string, 4th string backups. That was the most frustrating preseason game ever because you left your starters in there. Yeah, this right here, Tamara, that is the fitting comment. Yeah, that deserved an air horn. Why not? I don't think he was. He played last year in week 18. I actually did not know that until I saw CBS mention that at the beginning of the broadcast. Okay, looks like they're coming back. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I'll be back after the game. We will take calls afterwards, even though I don't know if there's going to be too much to talk about from the Kansas City side of things, but we'll still do a podcast because that is what we do after every single game regardless. So come back after the game. We will recap the game on the Chiefs Zone podcast. I'll have the link for you guys to call in. You just got to click the link, turn on your audio and your video, put in your name, and we'll chat it up afterwards, and we'll talk about this game. And we'll see what the outcome will be in this one if the backups can show anything before the clock hits zeros across the board. All right, guys, I'm Farzi Vasugian. Thank you for joining me for this halftime live stream. I am out.